show Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on Philly Hot Radio. Callers, call in at 484-477-6348, or you can go to www.phillyhotradio.com and stream live on YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya.
Hi, and welcome, and good morning to Philly Hot Radio. My name is Showtime the Hype Man, where we're going to start off the show for those who are watching us around the world and those who want to tune in. It's important that you can go to Philly Hot Radio, that's 2 T's. And it's important for those who are here today where we're going to got a special guest, an outstanding guest, where we have someone that is spiritual connected, where she loves people. Family value is more important than anything to her in her life. Before we get started on this show, I want to talk about what is going on and what is going on lately around the world, where we are still facing so many obstacles. Where I was hearing a program, a radio show, another radio show, where they was talking about the vaccine, where those who took the vaccines are having so many side effects, but because of the media control everything, not to get nobody scared or run away from it, is this like we're seeing now, they're talking about a lot of side effects, where a lot of people that took the vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, where they may not tell us, but they encourage to take more, but they're not bringing the percentage of how many people are being affected about this virus. So, where for those who took it, those who got scared, those who ran to go took it, where those who didn't have no faith to hold on and see what obstacle that God maybe have for me, started not listen to man, because man has failed us over and over and over and over. So many times we have seen that man have failed you, but God has never failed those who have a mastery listening and listening to what God tells them to do. So we're going to leave that. Also, we're going to still place our hands on the murder and killings and shootings in the city of Philadelphia, where it's out of control. It's very out of control right now. So a lot of those who are watching us, where you may hear some outside noise because of the construction, what they're doing in their radio show, where they have to fix the street, so it's nothing that I can do. But what I'm gonna do right now, we're gonna hold on for a minute, where I'm gonna do some injustice. I want my fans and everybody to hold on for a minute, where they maybe be going in and out. So I know how God works. He'll eliminate that part outside. For those who are in Philadelphia, it's sad, where we have over close to 300 black on black murdering. Something wrong. Where I saw that they keep talking about recruiting new young police officers that's 20 and 19 years old, have no knowledge of dealing with the street. They maybe be educated, book knowledge, how to be a police officer, but they don't have common sense and development stage as becoming new. We don't need police. We need a spiritual awakening that can contaminate and stop and bring more youth program that from the 5th grade on up. The school system and the programs has failed our community because we have never developed community activities. It's all fall into community activities. If you have no community activities, then the community always gonna die. You can hire all the police officers you want. That ain't the problem. You just giving somebody, family member, a job with a pension of 20 years with some health coverage, and that's all it's all for, of recycling, also making the union, the president, and then the police to get money. It's not about hiring so many police officers. It's about vesting money in the community. So I'm gonna leave that alone, because then somebody will call up and tell me that Showtime at it again, where I'm not gonna get no play anyway, but I'm gonna talk real stories. Also on July the 16th, Xena Music Production present and bringing a classy act, Touch of Class. Sparkle, the leading singer of Philly Destiny Band, Rob J, and guess who hosting that event? Showtime the Hype Man. This is going to be a outstanding. This is at the DS Cafe. It is at 16 North 9th Street in Darby, PA. This Friday night at 7 p.m. Tickets are only $20. $20 to be up close with Touch of Class. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the best ticket to go see. Also, you can bring your own BUY, where you can bring your own bottle, where you can have your own favorite cocktail, enjoy yourself. And also they have food at this establishment, where at this location. Also, the Dell Music Center is open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For those who've been watching me, I'm having my first birthday party. Yeah, my first birthday party ever. This is gonna be my first cake and ice cream. It took me 30 and 30 to actually have my own cake and ice cream. And I'm having a celebration with both cities on July the 24th at the House of Laugh in Wilmington, Delaware. Also, DJ Cupmaster Butter on WDAS FM, along with Showtime the Hype Man. I'm asking all my friends and those who say they are my friend, if you don't come, I'll be there by myself eating all the cupcakes, where I maybe wobble out, eat too many cupcakes, and where my tuxedo might get a little cupcake on it, because I was happy, because long God come, I'm happy if God come at that thing. So that's on July the 24th. It's a big event over in Wilmington, Delaware at the House of Laugh. Don't miss that event. Also, we'll get my man Old School doing something, a gospel all-white affair. That's going to be on August the 20th. I'm going to be doing the red carpet for that event. Also, I'll be doing another show called Dinner Show Dance. That's an all-white affair. That's on August the 28th. Also, I'm doing another show, but it's a Star Stinger banner. But I'm not going to give you information, but I will give y'all the date. That's August the 14th. It's many other stuff that's going on that Showtime Hype Man be a part of. I want to thank everybody that tuned in so far, but I'm ready to introduce our guest. This phenomenal woman has a friend of mine. She has been, she's a very quiet woman. But she has been around a long time in this city. She's an educator. She loves reading books. She loved taking tests. I can at least say that. She does like taking tests where she practices in that zone. You can tell when she's in the test zone because she don't answer her phone. So I know she's studying, and we all should know that. Well, I should know that because when I do call, she will answer the phone. It's a lot of things that I can say to her for now, but we're going to say all this stuff in the interview. For those who don't know her, y'all will know her after this interview. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Wanda Johnson.
Hi, everybody. Good morning to you all. It's a pleasure to be here with my dear friend, Michael Keller. We've been friends for many, many years. As I say, we go back with now-laters and pumpkin seeds. Yes, so it's a pleasure to be on the show with them today.
Wow. Thank you. Before we get started, we want to welcome you to Philly Hot Radio and welcome to the show. We're going to talk about what brought you here today and how God has brought you on a whole new intersection where you are starting to grow and you're starting to see things, what is worth is what's not as worth, and what you would like to delete out of your life and what you want to put it into your life. Where you maybe test the water a couple times, but you stay in it for a little longer than you're supposed to because you're a fair person. Where you're weighed out, but it doesn't matter what you got out of it, what you got it. You deserve anything you got out of it, so you shouldn't have to feel bad about nothing.
For sure.
I just want to make that clear because you can get your own.
Okay.
So, before we get started, what made you want to get into ministry? Ladies and gentlemen, she is a minister. What made you want to get into ministry?
Well, truth be told, I didn't want to get into ministry.
Okay.
It wasn't, I mean, I enjoyed the Lord and I love him with all my heart and soul, but it wasn't what I selected for me. It is what God selected for me. And so, even though I always walked with him and I always spent a lot of time with him, I did the work for him. I've been involved in many ministries, and I had gotten certified in being an evangelist. I went through the Church of Agape with Reverend Melvin Floyd and all of those things, and I thought that was it for me, and I was satisfied with the work I was doing and paying my tithes and that sort of thing. And as you know, Mikkel, I had been hit with quite a few deaths back to back, and so I knew that in order for me to be able to move on, I needed the Lord because he is the source of my strength. And so my twin brother, when he passed away, I knew that I had to sit very closely with God in order to be able to sustain myself while dealing with that kind of pain. So I stayed with the Lord, and I sat with him, and I read his word, and I praised his name, and I just kept digging and digging and digging with him. Everything that he had ever written, I just read. I would spend hours reading and nights reading his word. And when the lights came on, he led me to be an ordained minister. So I sat with some pastors, and they guided me, and they directed me in how to become ordained. And I did so, and I received my license a couple of weeks ago.
Great. Mm-hmm.
And so it's been an awesome journey.
Great.
And so, as far as being an ordained minister, that was so important to me because I have always done the evangelist work, meaning introducing people to God, but being an ordained minister allows me to baptize people in the name of Jesus right there on the spot. Sometimes we don't have time to make it to church on Sunday. We have to get people where they are. We're in trouble, and the Lord needs us now. And he said to me, I want you to go. Wanda, you're gonna go. You're gonna go. And so I've done the work so that I would be able to.
I want to ask you a question for those who are watching us around the world, because we are global around the world. You said something where being ordained ministry, where because so many things going to be happening in the 2022, 23, and 24, where because the neighbors in our community are not aware of what is actually going on behind the scene, where you're gonna, and I believe that you're gonna be in position to walk on a whole block where you may not have to speak, but you may have to use your hand and put the power of the spiritual and the Holy Ghost of the power. I'm not a guy, I'm a spiritual guy, where your anointing spirit when you walk from block to block without saying nothing, but the power that you release when you put your hand up.
Absolutely.
What it does is stops sickness. Gonna stop with someone maybe being a rock or earthquake maybe come upon us, where most people will get paranoid because they have never prepared themselves. And because before we got started, you talked about the nerves. The nerves was a sign that you're going to be okay, where God was in the chord in the middle of who you are. And the reason why that I can say that, because I'm on a whole level of spirituality where you at.
Right.
I just see you being prepared now because of the death of family members, but that is part of life.
Yeah.
Life through death. Nobody's going to hear it, and I don't care who you are, how much money you got, ain't none of us going to rock and roll like that.
Right.
But the spirit will rock and roll.
Yes.
The reason why I'm saying this to you, because you are following the footsteps, and you have became an art listener to your creative, and you have been doing things. What make you want to be different of your style as a woman ministry too, in this society today, where no one is respecting our minister leaders, no one is respecting all types of different beliefs, but everybody is moving. What makes you different, that you feel that you can stand out to be this influent woman in this ministry that you're about to embrace, where God has chosen you? Take your time on that one.
Yes. I don't know that the calling was for me to stand out, but we know that God sanctifies us, which means he separates us and to do his work. And so I just believe that, and I have written that paradise lies at the foot of the mother. So before I am a minister, before I am an insurance broker, before I am anything else, I am a black woman, and our children are in grave danger. Mothers and children, we are suffering really bad. And I just believe that the mothers are the ones that will be able to bring it together. I think that the mothers, the prayers and the tears of the mothers combined is enough to shake the heavens for God to move for us. And so my ministry is about just the mothers and the children coming together to help us to heal our land. It is said in the Bible, and it is also said in the Holy Quran, that if we would turn to God, that he will heal our ways, he will heal our land. So it can be done, but we have to go to him. And so I want to be the voice that turns to him, an example.
Good. I'm glad you said that. That was a great way of putting it. And what we would do, what do you want to say to our audience before we get off the ministry subject? Because she got so many things. I got a list of stuff lined up here that she does, so I want to get it all in. So before we're going to transform to something else, but I just want to talk one more conversation with this ministry. What do you feel, because you're a leader now in that position, and also you have the documents, paperwork, illegally, because you've done the work, What do you want to see, or what can you do to help out the youth? Or what type of goal, or what you got planning inside of you, but you thinking about it, but you didn't write it down, because she does write a lot of stuff down too. What do you want to say to our audience? How you want to approach this new way of ministry going into the 21st century? Because I can see that your style is definitely different. What do you want to do to be attractive so the young people and the older people and rich people and poor people can understand this precious energy level that you preserve as helping people? I know that you love children, you love plants, you love beautiful, you love jewelry, you love nice things. And it's nothing wrong where you're showing people that you can have all this stuff too, but also you have enough time and a quiet moment just to get to know who God is for yourself. So what do you want to say in closing mark for this ministry that you're having, or brief what you really want to say that you can feel comfortable as you go into saying what you need to say to our audience?
Well, I think as far as the young people are concerned, I spent many, many years teaching them.
There you go. There you go.
You see what I mean?
You're very good teacher again.
Yeah. I've taught them. I started out at the Thompson Institute. I've taught vocational school for most of my adult life. So I've sat with them. I've listened to them. I've talked with them. I have good rapport with young people. And I think that is, I can attribute that to that I remember what it was like being young. I remember what it was like being confused. I remember what it was like falling into the wrong hands. I remember the steps of being a young person. And so that is the main thing to connect to them, is that you understand what they're going through. You know, I'm not but a generation removed. I remember the pain of being a young person. And so I think once we come to realize that we're not above them as far as what they're going through, we went through the same thing, just at a different time. And so I think that connects me with them. And it allows me to be able to talk to them without being fearful of them. I love young people of all ages. You know, I always have them with me. Yeah. So I pray for them. My eyes fill up with tears for them when I, see them, especially like a pack, like a group of young guys, as you used to be in the group. And when I see them, sometimes I think, like, wow, I wonder, out of them, will they make it? Which one would be the fallen one? You know what I mean? And I'm constantly in prayer for them, and they don't even know it. But I am. I just, I want the best for us. They are the future. They're going to bring us through. Without them, there is no more us.
Wow. Well, I want to thank you for the conversation of which you just presented us with that ministry. We're going to get into your insurance broker. How did you come about getting to insurance and different types of insurance, where we want you to explain to our audience, for those who like to call up, where maybe want to ask Wanda Johnson some questions about insurance and different types of insurance, dealing with house insurance, dealing with health insurance, dealing with death insurance, where it's so many obstacles, where the community, where a lot of people don't even have insurance on their children, on their house. How do you get it? What started you to get into insurance, and when did that time came that you thought that this is one of my niche? I know it had to be the money that motivates you too. So yeah. Money always gonna be a motivator for a lot of people. So how do you find yourself now being an insurance broker?
Yes, I am a licensed licensed insurance broker. I'm licensed in health, accident, life. I can also sell money, annuities, money markets, all of those things I could put together. I became licensed in that because I have a dear friend, one of my Jewish friends, that was always after me about how good she thought I would be in the industry. And I was saying, Karen, you know I'm a teacher. I don't want to do that. No, I don't know. No, where will I get the time to study and so forth? And then, I took a deeper look into it. And I studied and I studied and I studied. Oh my God, hours and hours and months. It was unreal. My family used to say, are you still at the table studying? Like, when is this gonna end? But I got my 4 licenses, and I do believe that insurance is a must. Life insurance, I believe that one good life insurance policy can change the face of your family. It could change a whole nother generation. People have $1 million insurance policies, $100,000 insurance policies, and I think that we should too. And so if anybody would be interested in looking further into getting or knowing about different types of policies, you could call me 1-800. Oh no, let's not do that number. You could do it 267-979-7228, and I would be more than happy to put you on.
Repeat that number.
267-979-7228, and we could talk about getting money and making money and covering and securing our families with not just enough for a burial, but for large sums of money that would change the next generation.
I want to ask you said something, and for those who are, I hope that for those who are watching us, and where she said something where the average, I can be wrong because I'm not a insurance booker, but I have seen where black folks get the minimum policy with $5,000 or $10,000, just enough to bury, to pay for the car and the food, but where the wife or the husband or the children, where you can get more if you get the right booker and the right insurance person to give you the right information, where you can waste $75 a month on crack. Where or if you're going out every month and on a consistent basis, where you can have a policy where we're not looking at down the line what these policies can do for you in the future of your whole family. What do you run across as you being a insurance broker where you try to educate some of your church members, some of your family members, where when blacks do something, and not to piggyback to my white audience and my Latino audience, they understand what I'm talking about. Why it's hard for us when you see a black booker or a black business person in this field, where because you may be getting a lot of phone calls, they really don't see you, but they see the professionals on the phone. Why is our community is taking less when they can do bigger and have a $50,000 policy instead of a $5,000 policy? Would it is the money rate they may be afraid of, or they've watched their family, grandparents always had a minimal policy? Can you explain to our audience?
Well, life insurance, if we want to talk about that, insurance is a sacrifice. So we pay now so that our children don't have to pay it later, because we have to pay to live and you have to pay to die. Somebody's going to pay. And so it is a sacrifice, and I think that it's a mindset. It's usually passed on from generation to generation. There are families that believe in insurance, and then there are families that don't believe in insurance. But I'm here to say that there's some people that don't believe in it at all. They think it's hocus pocus. But I'm here to say that insurance is a way to secure your family. And I always stress it covers the next generation. So if we could leave our offsprings $500,000, I think that would make us sleep good at night. And you could use it over the children's heads to make them do better. Because you just tell them, as I tell my family, I'll take you right out of my will. You won't get a dime. And they're not, I know, I'm going to straighten it up. Let me get it together. So I think that it's a security blanket for the children to know that they will be taken care of in the time of death, and they're not just left like on their own. So I think we can use it as leverage as well, but it's security, and I think we all need to secure our family.
I want to ask another question because you said something where I believe in insurance. It's like car insurance.
Right.
Where I can pay a car insurance for 20 years and I have never been in an accident, but I know that the insurance company benefit off of the 20 years that I invested. You add up what I made times 20 years where I have never used my policy. But just in case something happened where the policy will come up. Why that we see a lot of car insurance commercials on TV, but we don't see, and we do see some of the big life insurance where they maybe use an athlete like Joe Namath
Right.
to influence people to buy insurance. Then also I see that they do commercials for older people that are 65 or 60 and over.
Yeah, now is the time to buy life insurance. You don't want to wait until you're sickly. You don't want to wait until your age is creeping up on you, because the older you are, the more you pay to get a policy started. So now is the time, and especially if your health is good, because in order to get those large sums of insurance, you have to undergo either a medical questionnaire or a medical exam. So if you are in good health, take out the largest amount of insurance as you possibly can. The whole life insurance has where you're able to borrow on it after a year. It begins to accrue money. So it is an investment. And so if you can sacrifice $300 a month, $200 a month for a $200,000 policy, a $300,000 policy, I suggest that you do it. Get the most insurance that you possibly can. It will change the next generation, your next generation. I almost beg you, get as much coverage as you possibly can. Sacrifice something. Sacrifice going on that vacation. Sacrifice those luxurious dinners and restaurants you go to. It's a sacrifice, but it's well worth it for the next generation.
Wow, ma'am. For those who are watching us around the world, where the phone lines are open at 484-477-6348, where we're talking about something that is very important when it comes to getting your future in line for your family. Where also she said that where if you want my will and be in my will, you must accomplish some things.
That's right.
So I can know that this money and this sacrifice will go and keep going for the next generation of the family. The black community that I maybe not sure, I want to make that clear because I know somebody will run and say Showtime the Hype Man said that on Philly Hot Radio. What I'm saying that we don't hear people talking about money language, where we're not accustomed to talk about, hey man, I know a great thing that's going on where you can take your money, where we're talking about murders and killing more, but we're not talking about equity. We're not talking about growth. We're not talking about other stuff that we should do as human beings being on this earth. I know I need some insurance because I'm in good health. So I need to get a $200 policy so I can slide on in. Before we get off this subject, and I told you she got so many other projects here. And don't she look lovely today, y'all? Don't she look gorgeous? As a ministry woman, a God-fearing woman. Give me a quote if a person in good health that maybe have never had insurance and they 60 years old or they 55 years old, where maybe you have done something last week or 2 weeks where you can remember, I don't know, you can say, not to say nobody's name, but give us a quote where those who are watching us know that you need some insurance. Know that that insurance that you have, because you really didn't have, where you maybe hear stories where some people can't even find the policies, where they're looking where their family and their mother and father never told them they sold the policies, where the children are looking for the policies and then they arguing, where nobody can find the insurance, nobody knows what nothing at. What are they doing new in the system and insurance where a mother and father maybe get old-time disease, where some of the family members knew they had insurance but have never knew the policies?
Right, but that's why it is very important to have a beneficiary.
Yeah.
Your beneficiary is your most trusted person.
Okay.
And that is the person that you know that will take care of the business for you. So there should be no scuffling and there shouldn't be any back and forth, because the beneficiary is the person that will take the lead. Now, that's not to say that nobody else has any input, but there's always a leader. There's a leader in everything that you do.
Wow.
So that's the beneficiary.
Wow. So,
Oh, and I do want to say also that while I won't speak in hypothetics, but what I will say is that, as I've said, the older we get, the more it costs just to get your foot in the door. You're always able to increase your coverage as you go on once you have a policy. So the thing is to start right now, start today. Look up information on life insurance, health insurance, whatever kind of insurance that you need. Not to say that you already have it, but if you have a great policy, get another one. Get another one. You can never be overinsured. It's just like saying, oh, I have way too much money. These things will never be heard. So if you have a great policy, good, get another one.
wow. You just heard it from Johnson & Johnson. This woman is on the move where she's a minister, she's an insurance broker. Y'all just don't know. I know that a lot of people are watching us and you're seeing her come out party today.
Yes, you know, I'm kind of behind the scenes.
This woman of God has never quit. She continued to be motivated. She continued to do amazing stuff. My name is Showtime the Hype Man. We're about to take a commercial break.
Hi, my name is Showtime the Hype Man, along with Dr. Rock. Johnson 32 Rep has a new location at 308 North 64th Street. Wanda Johnson is the founder and the CEO. She is offering service and providing
So we're live.
certification and
But I'm
CPR,
saying what we're
first
talking
aid,
about is
HIPAA,
live.
OSHA,
How am I
and
doing?
a 4-week phlebotomy
Okay.
course is also being available. For more information, please call 267-979-7228.
Hi, we are back. My name is Showtime the Hype Man. Wanda Johnson is coming out. Well, that was one of her commercials that we did on Philly Hott Radio, where we're going to get into another part of her 10th. I told she's a black Jewish woman. And we want to give a shout out to her family and her husband that maybe be watching. It's all that we respect everyone, what they do in life. Want to make that clear to you. So because of who I am. For those who don't know that I knew Wanda Johnson ever since she had Now Laters and sunflower seeds in her pocketbook and $3 and I think about $2 in quarters. I don't know what the quarters meant, but she had quarters too at that time. At that time, you can get a lot for a quarter.
Yes.
So I want to give her a shout out. Also, she's a resident of the Winfield family, where she's been born and raised in Winfield and have been there for all of her life,
right.
Not majority, all
right.
of her life, where her family, her daughter, all of us has been raised. My mother still lives in Winfield herself.
Yes.
So I'm grateful that my mother still lives in the neighborhood that she knows too. So we're going to get into the other part of the show, Wanda Johnson, third business, where she's been in CPR for a long time, at least 20-something years. If I'm not correct, she will correct me. Where CPR, well, a lot of us maybe don't know that we maybe can be somewhere where we can save. And I was telling her where I feel that it should be a law, along with getting licensed, that you should have qualified to take CPR tests, because the way this world is going, everybody should learn how to save somebody if they feel they need to give them CPR. My name is Showtime the Hype Man on Philly Hot Radio, morning show. We're gonna allow Wanda Johnson to explain her business, her training, where she's gonna be having classes, where you can sign up, how you can go on her website to look her up, how can you get your daughter, your son is involved, and also senior citizens that maybe have never took CPR class, even you can sign up for CPR. So it's no one too young where we can start off, even at, I don't know how long old you gotta get your license, but Wanda Johnson will explain more about her CPR class. Wanda Johnson, the floor is yours.
Yes. I just want to say, first of all, that my ministry is personal to me. Me being an ordained minister is personal. That's the personal part of my life. Me being an insurance broker is where I get my money. But CPR is my baby. I love to teach CPR. I love the fact that we have the ability to sustain a life. And that within itself is enough to make me feel as though it's something that everybody should know how to do. So I've been in the CPR industry for many, many years, about 20, I'm thinking. My degree is in allied health. So I have had several locations in where I taught my CPR. In fact, I would even travel from time to time, but the COVID shut us down. And so there was a lot of times where we had to teach it online, which is not the same. So I have a new location. It's 308 North 64th Street, where I am able to conduct CPR classes, and my classes will start September the 4th, because I do have to finish up with online training. But also I have implemented where I will be teaching a phlebotomy class. It will run for 4 weeks. I will be training people the skill of how to draw blood. I am licensed to be able to do so. So you will be able to take the 4-week phlebotomy class, and I am licensed to be able to certify you so that you are able to go out and get employment. So it is a 4-week class. It is a skill that will last you a lifetime. And again, classes will start on September 4th for the teaching of the phlebotomy, how to draw blood. So I will certify you in being a certified phlebotomist. So you will have a skill, you will be able to work in hospitals, you will be able to work in Quest Diagnostic, any laboratory that you see fit. I'm gonna bring it to you.
Wow. Where has the industry where I'm seeing that medical nurses, doctors, where when I go to the hospital, I don't go as often because I'm not sick and I want to give God the glory. But I see where some of the jobs were dominated by the other culture. Where Wanda Johnson is giving young black children the opportunity to get into the medical and the nursing career job, lifetime jobs. When you first became a student in CPR, in nursing field, in nursing training, where you became a cited teacher because the student still calls you and they still love
Yes,
you for some
yes.
reason, and now you helping them and grooming them in their marriage and their relationships, where she just doesn't teach, she help and educate
Yes,
them
absolutely.
how to grow up and deal with situation, even though she's a great teacher, but also she's a teacher that helps her student with a type of heart. When you first started in this, you had to be at what, 30 or?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm on point, ain't I?
Yeah, absolutely. I was
Everything I'm saying
32.
is 20. I'm on point. That means I've been around.
I was 32.
So, going into this field where you went there, what made you transform into the nursing field where you could have took any other job, where you could have took a city job in the city of Philadelphia, or you could have took an attorney? I think you've been a great attorney.
Wow.
I see that, and don't go back and go home and start studying.
No, I won't. I promise I won't study anything else. My brains are cooked.
We won't hear from her about another 5 years. And I'm like, oh, now I got an interview all over, but I'll be at a brand. So, how did that passion come about after you had several jobs, separate training, some of the facility has closed down, where you had us moving these menus, these mannequins all over the place and picking them up and some losing them. How did you keep the passion when you knew that this was a passion for you? Also, this allowed you to do other journeys in your life, and also dealing with crises in your life, dealing with raising your beautiful daughter, outstanding job you did with her.
Thank you.
And also raising our Doris, raising mom, raising.
I've been the caretaker.
She's been a caretaker for all of us. Even if I got a bad, she'll help me out too. I sit at the table and she'll set me up.
Yes.
And so I've been at the table too. Does anyone know?
Yes,
I've been at the table too.
Yes.
So I know about the table. We all been there at the table that she
you've been
studied.
at the table.
Yeah, so how did you come across this passion for this? And even with your busy activities and still trying to be a caretaker, loving people, being married in relationships, and dealing with all the other stuff that came with it, but you stayed focused even though you have that moment by yourself. How do you keep going, Miss Johnson?
As I always say, that God is the source of my strength. He is where I go to get my refill. And I get tired and I'm sad and I have moments, but I have to keep going. I know that He's got me, and I can't quit now. I have people that are depending on me. I'm the matriarch of my family. I can't quit now. I have people that are looking at me. I have people that I have to show the way. So I just, in spite of it all, I just keep pushing. I just keep going, and I know that God has a good work that he wants to complete in me. You know, I've had times of, I always say, as a younger person, I had become interrupted. But God will finish what he wants to finish. And so I want him to finish his plan for me. I have to see it through. And so if he keeps pushing me, I'm going to keep going.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's, for those who are watching us, my name is Showtime the Hype Man, and we're interviewing a consultant, a minister, a showing broker, CPR, a community leader, a fighter for the community. Also, she have a balloon business that she also does parties, events.
Quietly.
Quietly. That is quiet.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put it out there. Put it on her
Yes,
print.
yes.
Talk about your balloon business.
Mikhail.
Yeah, you people having birthday parties and weddings, and where we're not gonna talk a lot about it, but she does has a balloon.
Yes,
business.
I do. It's called Moxie Posh.
There you go.
And I kind of put it together. It's for the younger people and my family, and so that's how they make their money, where they use it towards the things that they're interested in. So I am a firm believer that you have to work for what you want. I believe that I believe that God says that man shall earn his keep by the sweat of his brow. Even Jesus was a carpenter. So I just feel as though that was necessary. So you want money, you want to have all these nice things, and you want to go all these nice places, then we have to find a way to funnel what you need. And so you'll do that by making your own money. And so they use that Moxie Posh balloon service. They deliver balloons, and we have beautiful balloons for everyone. We have balloons for gentlemen. We have balloons for ladies, for I'm sorry, I love you, Valentine's Day, any occasion. We do have balloons for it, but again, we kind of use that for the younger ones, the little teens in the family.
Wow. Is this amazing where this queen, beautiful black women, Jewish women, where I just want to thank you for the interview and taking a chance on me to interview. You are an amazing black woman sitting right here in front of me, and your spirit is so clean and rich. Where I know the road and you know my road, where God has kept his hands.
Yes, yes.
Where he has never took it, because the things that you're doing, I know that God kept his hands.
Yes, he did. He did.
And where a lot of
he
people
wouldn't let me go.
wouldn't let you go.
He wouldn't let me go.
No.
And I tried to get away.
That's funny.
I tried to get away, but he wouldn't let me go. And so, because he stayed with me and he kept his hand on me, I figured I better go with him. He's been good to me.
I think you did it right.
He's the sustainer
So
of
you don't
my
fight
life. No, I don't fight against it anymore. I just go, and I'm happy
Wow.
to
So
go with
when
him.
anybody that's interested, this is Johnson 30 compression. 2 breath. Your life matters. CPR and first aid, certification, HIPAA, OSHA, certification. The location for those who are interested, where you can go to 308 North 64th Street, Philadelphia, PA. That's 19139. Also, you can go to her, Wilbert Johnson 408 at gmail.com. For those who are answering, the phone number is 267-979-7228. What do you want to say to our audience before we close this interview? Because we can go to another thing that she does, because also she was trying to go for like
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Nah, I couldn't do it. I would have loved to board up every building that I could, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I didn't have enough time.
Yeah, so basically where she didn't go the easy route, but guess what? I'm reading stories. I have a book talks about going into your 60. Where I'm reading so many amazing people of doing things after 60, unbelievable stuff. Where a lot of people get a certain age and they find themselves doing the same thing they did for 20 and 30 years and follow the footsteps behind their parents. Yes, pension and social securities are good. But because of inflation and times are sky high, and because what you make, and I'm seeing guys that are retiring where they worked at a job for 30 years in a Kia, where if you think that's a super, what, not to be sarcastic.
Right.
I want to make that clear. Where we're seeing people worked all their life for 30 years, ain't got nothing, just paying bills. So we don't understand where this society is hiding what is going on, where we're not aware, because I had Gucci Dan from Queen, New York City said something when he was here. I want to give a shout out to the brothers from Queen, New York that was here, amazing guy. Where he talked about, for those who up there know what's going on, those who taking space rides for $250,000 a pop, to go up in space, and a time for one day in and out. They know what's going on. Because poor people and middle class people are really not aware of what's going on, because we are chasing something that has never saw in this illusion down where we at. I'm way ahead of a lot of people because y'all think y'all know me. They think I don't know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching someone that God too has kept me in the race.
Yes, absolutely.
Look at the quality guesses that I'm getting. I'm getting quality guesses on this show. We're gonna allow this amazing ministry / insurance broker / CPR went for the real estate, but too much going on, where she say, no, I'm gonna get some balloons and let them go in the sky and deal with that. What do you want to say in our audience before you close this radio show? What do you want to say to our audience? Give yourself a minute to say, what do you want to say to our audience before you leave this show?
What I would like to say is I would like to offer a blessing
There you go.
to the audience. I would like to offer my personal thoughts that God be with you, and that you let him guide you, and that you ask him to protect you, and that you ask him to place a hedge of protection around you in the matchless name of Jesus. So that's what I would close out saying, is that I love you all, and that I wish nothing but the best for you. I wish nothing but the best for your children. I pray for our generations. We are in a time that it is crucial, it is very serious, and it is a time for soldiers. We need warriors of all kind, prayer warriors. We need warriors on the front line. We are losing children by the dozens. It's unbelievable. And now is not the time to be against one another. We have to come together, and I do strongly believe that it will be done by the mothers. I believe that the mothers are the ones that can fight this battle, and I believe that the mothers with correcting of the children are the ones that can get this done. I believe that in my heart. I believe that we don't have to march in the street. I believe that we don't have to go up against anybody. I believe that we can pray our way through this. I know that prayer changes things. I am a witness. And so I believe that the prayers of the mother will be answered. And I believe that if we take our concerns and we take our prayers to God Almighty, I don't care what the religion is. If we come together, we take our prayers and concerns to Him collectively, we will hear from the heavens. We will hear from God. He will heal our land, and He will save our children. We have the ability to do it. God says you have not because you ask not. You return to Him. He will do it for us. I know that He will. I feel it in my heart that if we come to Him, mothers, one after another, come to Him, nights, days, afternoons, I believe that we can turn this thing around and we can save our children, and we don't have to take to the street. We don't have to be in arguments with one another. All we have to do is pray our way through this thing and do it collectively. Okay. And that is my thoughts. Okay. And I thank you.
Wow. Amazing woman of God. So I want to thank her for her last comments on Philly Hot Radio. For those who have never got anything out of it, I did. We're hoping that those who are watching us, and this was a great show for me. I got a chance to meet, to really understand who this woman of God is that's in front of me, and also I just want to wish her company the best at everything that she do on her new journey. So we want to thank you. We're live on Philly Hot Radio. This is Showtime the Hype Man interview show, Monday to Friday. Also every Saturday, Dr. Rock, along with Showtime the Hype Man. So I want to thank everybody. Peace.